Hey! So if you're just joining us, I've been working on this Chinese 250 quad. Last time I got it running, kinda. I had to order some parts for it. Had to get a carburetor, had to get a battery, had to get a starter solenoid. So all that stuff has come in finally. I am gonna try and see if I can get this thing to run consistently today. So that being said, let's get after it. So here's the old car with this old beat up airbox. This thing is broken a whole lot of ways. I'm probably just gonna take this out completely and just run a pod. But right now I'm gonna change this carburetor with this one. The exact same thing. I really wanted to put a nibby on here, but I could not find one with this flange size. And the one that I do have on hand would have to go directly to the block. This is in the way, so it won't work. But first things first, I'm gonna change out this carb. And y'all, I cannot stress this enough. Anytime you are changing anything electrical, especially something like the starter solenoid, disconnect the battery. Otherwise, you could learn a really hard lesson in arc welding. Alright, so my new ignition coils came in. The whole reason I want to replace this is this right here. At some point it had gotten loose and rested against the head and it just melted through it. It still produces spark, but I don't trust stuff like this because it doesn't take much for this to arc against the head. Pop the fuse and then I'm dead in the water. Moment of truth. Let's see what happens. How fast that started. Yes! See how it sounds. Got a good little run to it. That's what I'm talking about. It runs. Alright, she runs like a champion, so I'm good with it. What I'm gonna do now is put all those plastics way back there in the corner. I'm gonna put them back on it, I'm gonna get everything cleaned up, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and change the tires. I've got new tires right here. Just a little square pad. I'll have a picture of them somewhere, probably right here. But I'm gonna go ahead and put all the plastics back on. I'm gonna go ahead and change the tires, and we're gonna go ride this thing. I got the plastics back on, and I got the tires changed. But ran into a couple more problems. Alright, so I put the plastics back on. I even put a new seat on it. And was like, heck yeah, I'm ready to go riding. Everything was ready to rock on this. So I cranked it up. I'm letting it warm up while I'm getting all my stuff together. And it started running a little rough. And I was like, well, maybe it's out of gas. So it's got a little bit of trash in the carburetor. The voltage regulator took a dump, come to find out. And I'm not sure if something shorted out inside of it. But all this wiring harness coming up to these switches on the handlebars was smoking. So I had to shut it. I had to shut off the key and quickly push it out of my shop to keep it from burning my shop down. The wiring harness was pretty much destroyed. So I had to get a new set of handlebar switches. I had to get a new voltage regulator. I tested the stator and it came out good. It took a while to get those parts. It took me like 4 or 5 days to get all of them total. I'm still waiting on a new front light because it also cooked the pigtail for the front light. I'm going to get a quick video of me riding this thing around. We'll go from there. I'm still debating on whether or not I need to repaint this because the plastics don't quite match and they're faded. If anybody has any ideas on what color I should paint it, say something in the comments. But enough chit chat. Let's go ride this bad boy. The only bad thing is the reverse doesn't work. I think the linkage going to that gearbox is bad. It's got this lever action gearbox right here. I'm not a huge fan of it, but this thing's light enough. If I have to go backwards, I'll just get off of it and push, so it's not that big a deal. But it runs great, so I'm gonna just roll with it. All right, so she runs, and she runs pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how long this thing sat without oil in it, but the internals actually ended up looking pretty good, and it runs like a top. There's a few more things that I want to do. I want to put some extra lights on it. I've actually got an LED whip that I'm gonna put on the back of this thing, and put a decent sized light bar on the front. Nothing crazy, but the stock lighting on it just doesn't work at all. So we got to have something. Night rides are actually fun. But if you haven't already, you can like and subscribe. Make sure you use the links in the description to pick up a t-shirt from Mini Bike Apparel or a Rattle Can Customs t-shirt from Stover Customs. And until next time, y'all get up, get out there, and get after it.